the lads down the lane. Let's make a stand. The lads down the lane, an Amstel in our hand. Yeah, lads down the lane, lads down the lane. It's a lads down the lane. Yeah, lads down the lane.
Yes, welcome everyone to the Two Marks and Pure Coys with a bit of lads down the lane. We're missing someone, Nige. Where is he?
No, he's so rude working. I mean, how could you?
Where is he? The sheriff. I'm sorry, people. The sheriff's not here tonight. He's at work. But I will say, with a bit of Nigel's help and sheriff on the road, he's sort of set this stream up for us. So I had to only press a button or two to get it going. So we are going. I'm glad to say we are live. Nige, thanks for being here, mate. As usual, you're always here with us. How are you, mate?
Yes, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Been a good day. Did a stream this morning. Did another recording with Luke later on. And yeah, I'm glad to be here, mate. Glad to talk all things Spurs. How are you doing? Are you feeling better now, mate?
Yeah, I'm a bit better, mate. I was a bit rough yesterday. This whole, I'm on the old jab. You know what I mean, Nigel? And I had to stop it, the old fat loss jab. And I had to stop it because of my operation. So I'm back on it now. I've been back on it. This is the 4th week I've been back on it. And, mate, some days, I don't know why, it just turns me upside down, makes me feel ill as anything. But that was yesterday. Today, I'm a lot better. And I suppose we better talk a bit of Spurs, Nige. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it, mate. Let's do it.
Let's go on the saga anyway, Nige. I haven't seen much today, but it has been ongoing. What have you heard? What's the latest on MGW? Is he coming? Is he staying there? Is Marinakis giving it to Bobby? What is he doing? What is going on, Nige?
Oh, you know what? Every day it feels like it's like pulling teeth, isn't it? It's just, one report you get in, you think, okay, I did something on my show this morning saying that, Fabrizio Romano had put something on one of his shows that, expect Spurs to sign a midfielder today or now. And it had Morgan Gibbs-White blurred out. And I'm like, brilliant. It looks like it could be done today. Since then, I've heard that Forest are going to offer him a new contract to try and keep him now. I've heard that Morgan Gibbs-White is going to hand a transfer request in to force a move. I don't know. It just seems to be never ending. Hopefully it's going to be sorted soon, but I don't know. My fear is that Spurs will get fed up in the end and move on.
As it stands, Nige, do you think they've got any leg as such to stand on to stop it? I mean, I don't really know. Does Marinakis just keep this going so it stalls, like you say, so it stalls him coming, and like in the end Spurs say, do you know what, we've got other targets, we're going to crack on? Or do they persevere because they want him that much?
I think if I was Spurs, I'd definitely be persevering. Just stick with it. If he's the man you want, if Frank wants that man, if he's like the number one choice, then Spurs need to get it over the line by hook or by crook. If it means paying an extra 5, I've also heard that. There's somebody on Twitter on TikTok that I follow that allegedly is in the know. And he has said that Spurs have offered more money today, up to another 5 million to try and get the deal done. I've heard nothing since, but he's confident that Spurs are going to get the deal done. But I don't know. I think it is definitely a delay tactic. I've heard also today that Marinakis is a bit put out because he had targets, or Forest had targets that they were going to move on. And now we've gone for Morgan Gibbs-White. It kind of stops them in their tracks because now they've got to change the target slightly. And, other clubs will know they got money, so it might put the price up. So I just think they're a bit wound up by it all, but I can't see it not going through.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just think it's going to be a bit elongated. And like you say, another couple of million, 5 million, whatever it is. If they want him that bad, then you know, they'll hang out for
Yeah,
it, won't they, Nigel, at the end of the day? I
yeah.
think he'll be, I don't know, well, I do know what you think. I think he'll be magnificent for Spurs. He's just a leader, isn't he? He's a leader, Nigel, and he gets stuck in, and you know, he's not, don't get me wrong, he's not perfect at everything. I'm not making him out to be this magnificent player that's, you know, going to be the best thing since sliced bread. But number one, he's done it in the Premier League. And number two, I think in the position, you know, we all say about we want players coming into the first team and it to be an upgrade. Well, I think it's definitely that without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, he is everything that we don't have currently in the Spurs midfield. You know, he drives, he scores goals, he can assist, he can pass, he's hardworking. He's, like you say, he's a leader. He's the kind of player that if we're goal down, he will do the rallying call and, you know, be grabbing players and going, you know, telling them off and saying, come on, we need to. I think he's a brilliant player. And like you say, he's not perfect at everything. Of course he's not. If he was, he'd be going to a much bigger club. But for what we need right now, Morgan Gibbs-White is 100% the answer. And he's a player that, again, loads of people said, oh, he's not a player I thought Tottenham would go for. I didn't imagine us going for him because I just thought he was that level above, if you know what I mean. I thought he was the type of player that would go to Liverpool, a City, maybe even Arsenal. So I didn't really think Spurs stood a chance. But now we've matched the release fee. And it seems that Morgan Gibbs-White wants to come to Spurs. I will be absolutely gutted if we don't get him. I don't want us to move on to anyone else. I want us to hold out for this man.
Yeah. I agree with you, Nigel. I think he's a superb player. Lifts us up another level in that midfield, and that's what we're looking for. I don't think anyone expects us to go from there to there, you know, in one fell swoop. But for me, he sort of brings us straight away. Him and Kudos bring us sort of to there straight away. We're sort of halfway there. Do you know what I mean? And I think he'll be great for us. I really, and one thing I do think as well is the fans will really take to him. You know what I mean? When you're getting someone on the pitch that's giving everything, you know, and the fans love all that. The fans love it. So the link's in the chat at the top, people. Nigel's just put a comment in there. If anyone would like to come on and have a chat about Spurs, please, you know, the link's there. If you want to come on, just make sure you got your camera on and you got some clothes on, and you're more than welcome to come on, anyone. Big up, Scott M. Hope you're well, Scott. Mate. We'll shove it back again. There you go, Scott. Sorry about that. Yeah, doing good, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here, Scott. Appreciated. How do you see, as obviously the window's not finished yet, Nigel, and we've got, I don't know what it is, 6 weeks. We've got Kudos in. Obviously the Danzo and such, and Tel in as well, you know, from the end of last season as obligations and so on. What are your thoughts, Nigel? I mean, I've seen a few rumours today and yesterday of different players that we've been interested in. Now, for me, Gibbs-White and Kudos straight away, we're elevating, right? So, what are you thinking about? I've still heard bits and pieces going on, obviously about Adam Wharton, Nige, and I think if you gave most people the choice of having Adam Wharton at Spurs, I don't think really many would say no, only because of what he's shown in the Premier League at Palace so far, and you know what he can go on to be. I think there's plenty of. I don't like using that word ceiling, but it's a youngster's word, isn't it? They use this high and low ceiling thing and all that. It's not really me, but you know, his ceiling, if you like, is very high, isn't it, Wharton? But rumours are still rife, even though I'm not so sure because of his age about Paulinho coming back. Now, I've seen bits and pieces today that he had a release clause of something like 44, 45 million, something like that. But there's rumours that they're prepared to take about £30 million for him. They don't want a loan; they want to sell.
Right.
They want him gone. But that's the sort of money that they're talking about. But as I spoke to you off air as well before we started, there are a few clubs that are interested in him. English clubs, Man U being one of them, West Ham, Brighton, and Villa are all interested in Paulinho. Now, I don't know with his age whether he fits what they're trying to achieve at Tottenham, if you know what I mean. You know, he's 29, 30 next birthday. We all know he's a very good player and he's very good at what he does. But does that fit into Levy's demographic, if you like? You know, does it fit into Thomas Frank's demographic that he's 29, pushing on 30, as far as contracts and stuff like that are what are your thoughts on that, Nigel?
I'll be honest, I do not think Paulinho is coming to Spurs. I don't think he fits the requirements. I think he's too old. I think he's too much money. If we're talking about £30 million, I don't think he fits the Spurs mould. I think he's a great player and I'd love him at Tottenham. But I just don't. I think if we were going to get a Paulinho, then we would have gone and got a who's the guy who's just a Norgard.
Yes.
Because Norgard's the same kind of player. Again, late 20s, reaching 30. He would have been a lot cheaper. And Thomas Frank knows him really well.
Yeah.
So I think if we're going to sign an older player for number 6, I think it would have been Norgard and not Paulinho. I can't see us getting Paulinho. I think it will be a younger midfielder. I think it is either going to be Wharton, though I'd be surprised. I think it's going to be a Hayden Hackney or someone like that.
Okay.
Just because he fits the age bracket, I think, of what Tottenham are trying to do. And he's, Hayden Hackney's not young. He's 23. The only thing against him is he's got no Prem experience, obviously no Champions League experience. If Paulinho was alone, I would have taken him hands down. I think Spurs would. I just don't see Spurs doing it at that age, not for that much money.
No. It would be nice to have him. Nigel, I like him as a player. I think he just patrols across that front, just breaks play down, gives it simple. You know what I mean? Let's have a look in the chat. Razzle Dazzle. The sheriff is at work tonight, sir. He said if he can get signal, he will pop in on the chat and say hello to everyone. But yeah, he's on nights. So he's not about, but he sends his best to everyone. Paul G, thanks for being here, mate. Nice to see you. Phil, nice to see you, mate. Thanks for being in.
Big up, Phil. See you Saturday.
Yeah, say that. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday, Phil. Bit of information from Milton there. Yeah, Paulinho's 29, Norgard's 31. Yep. Terry likes Hayden Hackney as well. Yeah, looks like. Middlesbrough, and Nige? Is he Middlesbrough, Hayden Hackney?
Yeah. He's a good player. He's a good player. Whether he can step up, I don't know, but he is a good player.
Yeah. I'll go to this one first. That is a possibility, I do believe. And I wouldn't say no to that either, to be quite honest with you. He's a very good player. And this is the big one from Razzle. What are you saying about this, Nige?
Garnacho. I don't know. I really feel mixed about this one because there's no doubt he's got a lot of talent. He's young. He's Premier League experience, played a lot of games in the Premier League. And on his day, he is fantastic. And he's probably better than anything we got on the left. But he's got a stupid haircut. No. But I just think he's too inconsistent. I think he's a bit moody. I think it depends if he's a bit like Rashford in the sense that if he wants it, great. If he doesn't, just not so sure. I take him because he's better than what we've got, but I'd rather go another direction. But it's not saying I don't rate him. I'm just very much on the fence. I'm not sure about him. What about you?
don't get me wrong, he scored. I mean, I always said when I did this stuff that I ain't selling porkies, and I'm not gonna. He's not for me. He's just not for me. I don't even know what it is about him. He scored some cracking goals. Do you know what I mean? And he has. He's also missed a lot of chances as well. When he has been through, he misses a lot, a hell of a lot. Right?
Yeah.
He does things. He's skillful. You know, he's got that. I don't know. There's just something about when I watch him play and I see his. And you're going to all probably say you're stupid, man. That's what it's not all about. But when he does things like, for argument's sake, he'll go beat a player, he'll do whatever he's doing, and he'll shoot. And he probably should have scored, but he didn't. And every time he'll give it the look to the heavens, run his hands through his hair, like. And I think to myself, man, just scored a goal. Stop doing this same crap that you're doing every time you miss. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's just something about him. I'm not denying he's not a skillful player. I'm not. I just don't think he's Spurs. I just don't think he's a Spurs player. I really don't. He doesn't. Again, that's my opinion. There's probably people in the chat, people around the world that say he'd be fantastic for Spurs. Personally, he's just not my cup of tea. But that's just me. That's just me. You know,
I'm with you there, mate. I think
it is what it is. We've also just carrying on the rumour mill, Nige. The Winter, the right back. Now, right back stroke, right centre back. Now, also as well, the price for him has been rumoured at between 25 and 30 million euros. But apparently, even though Spurs like the player, they may not be prepared to pay that much for him. The usual thing. Also to cloud it up a bit more. Inter Milan, Napoli. What else have I written down? There's another club as well. It was Inter Milan. They're interested in him as well. So if he wants to stay in Italy, he's got a choice of clubs to go to there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Winter? What are you thinking about him?
The Winter I like. I think he's a good, solid defender. I think he's also a good footballer. He brings the ball out well. He's comfortable in possession. I'm not going to pretend I've seen too much of him because that would be lying. But from what I've seen, he looks decent. And again, he's a player that can play in a few positions, which I kind of think Spurs tend to do, don't they? We tend to buy players who can play like 2 or 3 positions.
Yeah.
I like him, and at that price, for me, is a no-brainer. But if we sign him, what does this mean for Romero? Does this mean we're selling him? Does this mean maybe Dragishin? We're thinking about selling Dragishin because I don't know whether he's back fit yet. Is he going to be out for a bit longer than we thought? I don't know. I think if we're signing another centre back, it does tell me that maybe one may be leaving. Maybe Phillips, but
yeah.
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Yeah, it's all very interesting. Big up, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. And Tot Doc, big up. Thanks for being here, mate. Hope you're well. Man. Yeah, it is very interesting. I mean, when you think about where we were last season, I think we all think that once the manager forget that I'm not taking any thing away from winning the Europa Cup. I think everyone knows, what my stance on the manager was anyway. We won the Europa League. Brilliant. Fantastic. I'm over the moon that Spurs won a trophy. It still doesn't change the fact that I thought he was a crap manager and he had crap tactics and everything else. But I don't want to go through all that again because we've been there, done that, and wrote the book and so forth. Yeah. We're moving on now, so we're moving into a fresh season. We know that we've got kudos definitely. I think Morgan Gibbs-White will be coming. I'm shocked. I'll be shocked if he doesn't end up at Spurs. We also said about that we thought when a new manager came in, we didn't know who it was going to be, but, you know, we all spoke about Glasner and Frank and Marco Silva and others, you know.
Yeah.
We said that we thought that there would be an automatic sort of from 17th upwards would be a natural thing anyway, because we were never a 17th place team, you know, last season, or we shouldn't have been, you know. So with the two, let's say Gibbs-White is in, let's just assume, for my benefit, because I'm saying he's coming anyway. Where do you think we are as with Kudos and Morgan Gibbs-White in, and let's assume Romero is staying, right? Where are we as a squad now? What else do we need? You know, if someone said to you, for argument's sake, there's 5 coming in this window, or 4 even, there's 2 more to come. We've got 2 and 2 more to come. Not necessarily the players' names, Nige, but where are you looking at to add and boost squad options?
For me, definitely a number 6 type player. I think that is going to be, and I know we're obviously being linked to Wharton, I think that is where we're going to spend our most money this summer.
Yeah.
I think it will be a number 6.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think we need another left back. I'm not going to say cover, because I don't want it to be cover. I want it to be competition.
Yeah.
So I think we've got Spence and Porra at right back. Even I know Spence can cover at left back. Some will say Spence has actually played better at left back, but he is a predominantly right back. Yeah. So I'd like to see a left-footed left back, a number 6. I'm being greedy. I'd love to see half the people we got playing on left got rid of, and a new left winger or left-sided player. And I want to see another striker again for competition, not as backup.
Yeah,
but that's being greedy.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I'm pretty much the same as 6 a left back, and also you said about the striker. Now I don't know if Richarlison's going to go or not, whether he's going to stay, where he goes. To be quite honest with you, I think we need another centre forward as well as Solanke. Let's just put Richarlison just to one side slightly a minute, right? Now, I'm looking from the point, Nigel, of we're going to have best part of 65 games next season, 60 to 65 games, right? With all the cups, everything. Dominic Solanke ain't going to be fit for 65 games next season. Now, to me, I don't know what you think, but I can see there's going to be scenarios in certain games, whether it be cup games or league games next season, where, as we know, forgot what I was going to say now. I've lost my train of thought because I was thinking about something else, Nige. Carry on with what I was saying. Where was I up to? Sorry, people. I was thinking about something else. It's gone straight.
You're on about Solanke. You're on about Solanke.
Yeah, sorry, Solanke.
So
I'm back now. So I'm thinking that we are going to need another centre forward. Yeah, as in that target man. Let's call it that. For then us to be playing maybe a smaller man off if there's 2 up front or 1 off of a centre forward. You know what I mean? So for me, that's quite important that happens, because you know what Richarlison's like. Half the time he's not fit anyway. When you need him, he's not fit. You know, and so that for me is a thing. The number 6, as far as I'm concerned, it's a big thing, because I think it's really important that however Thomas Frank works around that, that the right person comes in to do that job. Because it's all right having Morgan Gibbs-White running around doing his thing in the number 8, the number 10, wherever he's playing. I'm assuming he's going to be that sort of number 8 player generally. Yeah. He gets about the pitch a lot, but, Brian Daigle was saying that when he watches Morgan Gibbs-White, he can do a bit of everything, bit of 10, bit of 8, bit of defensive midfield, that sort of thing. But at the same time, it's all right, asking a player to do that. But do we need a player that actually just sits there and does that job, Nige? That defensive midfielder that when there is a transition against us, do you know what I mean? And teams are coming at us rather than the old two at the back thing, which we know is going to not be there anymore. But just having that defensive cover across there to break that play up and setting us off again. You know, I think it's very, very important. That very important.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, it was even more important under our last manager, but obviously we didn't have one. I do think it's important. You look at most of the sides that win the Premier League, not
Yeah,
saying we're going to, but most of the sides that win the Premier League have a top defensive midfielder.
yeah,
And it's something we've been lacking for a long time. Do we need? I think we do need one, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get one because
mhm,
it's what we do. We always kind of leave ourselves a little bit short, don't we? I think I've already said earlier that I think we will spend our most money on a number 6. I do think we'll get one, but who it is, I have no idea.
mm,
But I think the way we play, we've got a lot of attacking players. If Morgan Gibbs-White does sign, which hopefully he does, we've got a lot of players that go forward. I do think we need a couple more that have more defensive minds.
mm,
And
yeah,
yeah, that's why I think number 6 will be the next signing we make.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Who do you think will be going out, Nige? Forget the younger players at the moment. You know that are probably a lot of them will go out on loan, but squad, you know, main squad. Who do you see leaving the club?
I think Richarlison will leave. If he will probably need to be pushed a bit because I don't think he's overly keen on leaving.
Mm,
But apparently, he has been told to find a new club.
yeah,
Or his agent, he's been told with his agent to start looking at other clubs. I heard it. Is it Palmeiras, the
yeah.
Brazilian team? They're interested in him, 55 million or something. Whether that happens, I doubt it because I think Richarlison's keen to stay in the Premier League.
Mm,
I think that Sonny will leave.
yeah.
There's strong rumours that after the Asian tour he will leave. In fact, I've heard that it's after the Bayern Munich game. I think
Okay.
they're talking that he may be sold after that.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Mm,
Basuma or Bentancur. I think Bentancur is probably more likely to stay. I think Basuma will again. And I said this morning, why not offer Basuma to Crystal Palace as part of the Wharton deal?
mm,
You know, I know it's not as easy as just saying you have one of ours,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Basuma suits Palace. I think it would be a good move for him. He's still in London, and we might be able to get 20 million off the Wharton deal. You know, if we could get Wharton for 65 instead of 85, then for me that's a good deal. And we get rid of a player as well. Defensively, I don't see anyone going defensively. Maybe Phillips might be sold. All the other youngsters, I think, will be loaned out or kept.
There you go. How about that one?
That would be nice. Yeah. Wow.
Big up, Nick.
Apart from Madison.
And we're winning the league. We're winning the league, Nige.
Yes,
That's what it's all about.
that's
Positivity. We're winning the league, Scott. You know how it is. The
quad
choo-choo's in. He's going to turn everything round. Happy days. Big up, Corey. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well.
Big up,
Hope
mate.
you're well. Yeah, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Nige, where we sit at the moment, are you hopeful of, you know, I know you've said on your shows that you think it may be a slow start. You know, Thomas Frank at Bromby and wherever he's been in Brentford, he started slowly, got him going to his way of thinking, and then you see it changing. Do you see that being similar at Tottenham this year?
Well, I hope we don't start too slow because that means we don't beat Burnley opening day. And if we don't beat Burnley, I think the whole fan base would be within a meltdown within the first week. I just think it's going to take time for Frank to get his ideas across.
Yeah.
I think we'll win games, but it may not be pretty to watch for the first month or so. And guaranteed a lot of fans would be like, well, this is really crap football. We're playing rubbish. So as long as we can win games for the first month or so, even if we're not playing great, that's fine with me. It's going to take Frank a little while to get his ideas across, and absolutely the quad is on. And yeah, for me, it's just about giving him time and It's like any manager. I'll be fully behind him until I'm not fully behind him, if that makes sense. I was saying earlier that, I'm fully behind Frank, but if we're 17th in the Premier League next season, I'm going to want him out. It's all right giving someone time, but if you're that low in the table, then for me, it's not
Yeah,
good enough.
I don't want to go through that again. Last season, Nigel. I know we won again. People in the chat, I know we won the Europa, but I banged on for most of last season about the same crap every week. We were sitting there watching, and every week we sat doing shows. Well, is he going to change this week? Is he going to? And we're not football managers by any stretch of the imagination. You know what I mean? But surely, if you've got a little bit of know-how about football, and you've played a bit of football in your time, and so on and so forth, you can see things that are going on because you're watching the whole game. Now, I don't know about you, Nigel. A lot of people, right, when they watch football, will follow the ball. They just follow the ball wherever the ball's going, and they're not watching what's going on off the ball, which to me is very important. You have to have eyes everywhere on a football pitch when you're observing. Even down to intricacies like watching players, what they're doing. They're going to receive the ball in the next 2 or 3 seconds, but what are they doing? Are they having a look about? Have they seen their pass before they've even received the ball? Stuff like that. I love watching stuff like that. It's all very interesting, and when you see technical players doing stuff like that, and players using their noddle a bit, Nigel, I like stuff like that. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, where do you see us next season, Nigel? Because I'm just a bit worried that we're trying to add to the squad, and I see what's going on. We're trying to get better players in, but we've got Champions League next year, new manager in. Is it going to come to the point where we could well be struggling because the squad isn't at the level of a high enough level with all the games that we'll be playing? And Nigel, I'll let you talk. My front door's going, so just
Okay. I think it's really interesting. I can't bring up the chat either, which is annoying. But big up, Sheriff. I see you. I see you in the chat. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season under Frank. The one thing we didn't have under Ange is patterns of play. Well, we did. We had patterns of play, but we got to find out after 10 games. We had the same pattern of play. Get it out wide, low cross into the box. And we got to find out after 10 games, and it never worked after that. So for me, it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of patterns of play that Frank has, because like you said earlier, Mark, players not wanting the ball, players not looking, or I think it's going to be really interesting what patterns we play.
Bye.
Say bye.
Yeah, she said bye. Sorry.
Sorry, that's all right, mate. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we play under Frank that's different to Ange, because like I said, Ange had the same pattern. It was get the ball out wide, cross it in low.
Yeah.
And it just got to find out early doors. So I'm really looking forward to seeing actually different tactics and different styles. For me, that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, Mark. There was a missus at the front, Nigel. That was a missus at the front door because I'd locked the door.
All good.
There's Nita. There you go. Hello, Nita. Glad you're here.
Sheriff's in the house as well.
Sheriff's in the house as well.
There you go.
Big up to the sheriff. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're not working too hard. Glad you're in. Sorry, I've missed loads of comments here. I'm just going to try and catch up with a few of them for a bit. There we go. Yeah, that's Philly, Corey. Just catch up on the chat a little bit. Yeah, that was Nicholas from earlier. Yeah, there you go, Nick. It's true, isn't it? Yeah, I said top 7, Terry. I thought that if we could get any European football qualification through the league next year, even if it was Conference League. To me, I think that he would have done really well to get that. And, you know, it'd be nice. I don't expect us to do anything in the Champions League, if I'm being honest with you. If we do, it'd be a bonus, you know. If we could get through the group stages, you know, into the knockout, that'd be fantastic for me. First season in the Champions League. But I would like us, if we can, to have a little bit of a run in one of the cups, if it's possible. You know, I mean, we obviously don't know how it'll work, and with incomings and how strong the squad's going to be and stuff like that. But even if it was a League Cup, to be honest with you, you know, if we could have a nice little run in that, and, you know, or the FA Cup, would be pleased. But for me, predominantly, it's about turning the league form around this season, Nigel. I think
Absolutely
17th and getting done 10 times at home. Do you know what I mean? And losing to the bottom three at home, I think that is an absolute no-go, Nigel, and that has to be turned around. Not so much just for us that are watching, but, you know, on the TV, but for the fans that are paying fortunes, mate, to go to this stadium every week and support their club, paying thousands and thousands of pounds every year. Do you know what I mean? And I really hope they don't get served up the dross on the same regularity as what it was last season. I really do.
No, I agree. We have to make White Hart Lane fortress again. You know, we need to have teams come there and not want to come there. Which is the problem, I think, with this new beautiful stadium that we got, that every team wants to come there because there's a lovely stadium, lovely pitch, you know, lovely facilities.
Yeah.
You know, who wouldn't want to play that? So that's the trouble. We've got to make ourselves on the pitch. We've got to make ourselves really hard to beat and get in their faces and make it a real place, you know, White Hart. And the fans have got to help as well. You know, there's no good the fans being quiet. We got to get behind the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. This is a great comment from Razzle Dazzle, to be honest with you. I think that, you know, 90% of Tottenham fans, if they could see what you've put there in that sentence, I think that would make a lot of people happy, because the same thing just over and over and over again, and then getting tapped up on the transition all the time, Razzle. Do you know what I mean? Relying on the pace of one defender to get you out of trouble all the time. And it's just not going to happen, you know. Sheriff's popular tonight in the house. Nige? Yeah, the Sheriff's at work, everyone. Sorry. He gave us his blessing to do a little show while he was at work. He said he'd be in the chat, and to his word, he is in the chat. So the Mark Army is in town. Great stuff, Sheriff. We're all glad you're here, mate, and we hope your night's not too long, mate, at work. Yeah, Terry, I agree with you. It would be fantastic. You know, I don't know if it's going to happen next year or not, but we'll see. We'll see how adaptable some of these players really are now after the last couple of seasons, because they're going to be asked to do a lot of different stuff. You know, and I think Corey wrote it a bit further up in one of the comments, patterns of play and stuff like that. I think you'll see a lot more of that. And one thing that I hope we do see a lot more of, which is one of my pet hates, and it's movement off the ball. I want to see a lot more movement off the ball. A lot of the time, there's a lot of players standing there like statues, not moving, you know, and I think that'll be a big thing for us next year as well, a bit more movement off the ball. That'll be great.
Players hiding as well, not wanting the ball, you know.
Yeah.
I want to see our players wanting the ball, and, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree, Nige. I totally agree. Look, at the end of the day, Nige, a professional football player, it's like you going to work in the morning, right? Do you wake up and think to yourself, I've only got a middle of the range cooker to clean today? Do I just I'll just do half a job because it's just like paying Crystal Palace today? We're not playing Liverpool. We're not cleaning the top one today. You know what? It's got to be every week, Nige. And I know that players have off games. You get that. Everyone does. Everyone in professional sport has bad days, off days. It does happen, you know. But
do you know what?
Go on, Nigel.
Sorry, Matt. I just misheard you totally. I thought you said you only had a mid-range hooker to clean. And I'm like, okay. But you're right, though. We've played football. You know, you played at probably a higher level than me, but we all have those games when you're having a bit of a stinker and you're like, I don't really want the ball now. Oh, don't pass it to me, you know. And I feel like too many Spurs players are like that.
Yeah. Especially on the days when you feel like you couldn't trap a bag of cement. Nige.
Yeah.
Because it does happen to the best of us, mate. It really does happen. It's like, it's mad. It really is mad. Yeah. We're going to beat the Arsenal twice next year, mate, in the league. Don't you worry about that, Razzle. Hey? Yeah. Where do I go? Let's show this one. Yeah, Sheriff's hacking the show. The tech skills. Yeah. See what I mean? This is what I'm saying, Scott. He says he don't know nothing, but there he is down in, southwest England somewhere at work, and he's on his phone giving it all this. He knows how to do it all, mate. Don't you worry. He knows.
Yeah.
Big up, Lee. Glad you're in, mate.
Big up, mate.
Yeah. It will be. Yeah. We was talking about it a bit earlier, Lee, about how important getting the right number 6 in is going to be for us. But I'm sure he's not stupid, Thomas Frank. He's not stupid by any stretch of the imagination. And what you have to look at is when you compare Brentford and Tottenham, I'm sure most people would say the squad at Tottenham is better than Brentford's squad, as in quality of player. You know what I mean? If he can do what he was doing with Brentford after he'd got them settled, after he got sorted out, why can't he do that with Tottenham? And like you said, it might be a slow start. New managers coming in. Sometimes they just come in and fly, Nige, don't they? People take to their ideas, and it's just like a different level, But some managers do not necessarily struggle, but they've got to implement their ideas, and it's not just like the odd idea. They're asking a lot of players, a lot different to what they were being asked last season, I would imagine. I'll let you answer. I'll just put that up there. Big up, Philly. Sorry, mate. It's the first time on pressing the buttons tonight, and I know I'm missing a bit of stuff out, but please bear with me, everyone. I am trying to bring the comments up, and there you go. I am getting there. Yeah, I agree with that, Nicholas. I agree with you, mate. You shouldn't be losing, especially as those teams were so far behind everyone. It wasn't as if they was 4 and 5 and 3 wins or something, weren't they, last season? Those bottom teams. Yeah. It was absolutely. It was. Here's a question for you, Nige. I'll bring this up from Lee. I'll let you have that one, mate.
Okay. Well, I've been banging on about it for the last couple of days, and once I've said it live. I can't go back on it. I do think Solanke will hit 20 Premier League goals this season. Just simply because I think he will be up the pitch further. He won't be tracking back as much. Hopefully, if he does, there's an issue. Right. And I think Thomas Frank likes to get balls in the box. Is one thing he likes to do. And I think if Solanke's in there, he will get a lot more chances. And if Solanke cannot score 20 Premier League goals next season, then we should be selling him the season after, because I think for a Spurs player, you should be scoring. Any Spurs striker should be scoring 20 Premier League goals a season. In all fairness, Solanke probably should have got 20 last season, but whether it was tactics, whether it was just him being poor, I don't know. But I think this season he will get 20 Premier League goals. So I'll go Solanke.
Okay. If no other centre forward comes in, I would probably have to agree with you. We know that. See, I don't know that Johnson's going to play as many games as he did last season. No. I don't know how that's going to work. Now, one other scenario, Nige, that I could give you. What do you think of this? As in, Jed Spence at right back, right? Kudos up front on the right, with Porro as your right midfielder, but he'll be the man that's delivering your crosses from the right. Whereas when Kudos has got it further up the pitch, he'll be the man giving it the old twinkle toes bit and all that and bamboozling defenders. Because he will, Nige, trust me. I've watched this kid,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
right? And when he's on it, right, we
Mhm.
talk about people getting up off their seats at Tottenham, and it's been a long time, you know. If
He's gonna do
this
it.
kid gets on it, mate, right, and I don't mind saying it, I played a bit of football in my day. I'm not saying I was a professional or nothing, but I wasn't. But this kid can play football. And I said it on a stream the other day. He is the type of bloke that if someone upsets him, he'll do them, Nige, yeah, then come back and do them again, just to piss him off.
Yeah.
He's that type
Yeah.
of bloke. He's that type
Yeah.
of player. He is, when he's on it, he is, I would call him sensational. Footwork.
No, I agree. I think Tottenham fans are going to fall in love with Kudus this
Oh,
season.
yeah.
But as for Porro, you know what? I just think Tottenham are going to play more narrow anyway. I don't
Okay.
see Kudus out wide, and I don't see whoever the left person out left is as out wide. I see him tucking in, and I see the fullbacks overlapping, and I see Porro getting forward lots and putting lots of balls in the box. And Kudus, because he's left-footed, I see him cutting in, like you say, with his twinkle toes, getting shots off from the edge of the box. I'm really looking forward to seeing Kudus, Maddison, Morgan, Gibbs-White, all interchanging, little one-touch passing. I think some of the football next season, if Frank gets it right,
Yeah.
you know, could be sensational.
I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. Now, we've got another question here from Nita. I am going to work my way down. Sorry, just bear with me, everyone. I don't know. I haven't looked at the fixtures, or I think I've looked at them and briefly, but
I've got them up now. It's what I was looking at a minute ago when I saw the question.
well done, Nige. See, this is where Nige is technical, people. He can do stuff like that. I can only talk to you and press this thing here to bring your comments up. That's about it.
Well,
go on then, Nige. Who we got?
So we have Burnley opening game, 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you say home and away so I can judge it a bit more?
Yeah. Burnley at home.
Yeah, 3.
We have Man City away.
Yeah.
Then
Second
we have
game,
Bournemouth
Man
at
City
home.
away. Oh.
Yeah. Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
Then we have West Ham away, Brighton away, Wolves at home.
Yeah, go on.
And Leeds away, Aston Villa at home. I think that's the first 10, is it?
Yeah. I reckon if you win, I reckon if you get 4/5 wins out of that, to be honest with you, because Burnley's to me is a win at home, first game of the season, right? We normally do well against City, but it's the start of the season, being in then at the same time, do they know what we're going to do? Do you know what I mean? As far as tactics are concerned and stuff like that. But if we're going off of general form, I would say if we won 4 of those and nicked a couple of draws, right, it doesn't look good in the grand scheme of things. 1-4, drawn 2, lost 4, right? But was it the first 10 games last season or first 11 games, we was 1-5, drawn 1, lost 5. And we was something like 5th or 6th in the league, Nige.
Yeah.
You know, but it didn't paint a true picture, because after 10 games, if you've lost sort of 5, 6, 7 of those, to me, you're struggling a little bit, because you shouldn't be losing 5 in the first 10. It may well happen this season, and I can get it a little bit more, but again, because it's a new manager, do you know what I mean? We might lose more than we win, Nige, but, you know, what do you think?
I'm feeling a little bit more positive about the opening 10 games. But as I said earlier, not because I think the football is going to be swashbuckling and we're going to be brilliant to watch. I think there could be games when it's not good to watch at all. But I think we have enough quality to beat a lot of those teams in the first 10.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those teams are pretty, you know, not the best. I mean, they're games we should be winning. You look at Man City away, obviously it's going to be a tough game, but you know, you're looking at Wolves at home, Bournemouth at home, you know, West Ham away, games that why can't we pick up points now? So I think if we win 6, if we were to win 6, even like win 6, draw 1, lose 3, I think that would be a decent start.
Fair dues, that. Nice. Fair dues, that. Let me just get in there. Again, presenting, this is not my thing, but please subscribe to Nige at Pure Coys. He's on here with me tonight, helping me out. Mark's at work. Please subscribe to Nige. He's flying over on his channel. What you on, Nige? Nearly 850 now.
Yeah, I think a couple away from 850.
Come on, at least perhaps two or three of you in the chat. Please get over to Nige if you haven't subscribed. Get him over that 850. It's hard work as a YouTuber getting, to those sort of numbers and getting to that first 1,000. It's really important for us, and please subscribe to us as well. I think we're on about 440 at the two marks. So we're sort of 10 away from 450. If anyone would like to subscribe to us, please do. We're going to try and get you a bit more content out there as we go. Here's another question, Nigel. I'm not sure that we can answer this at the moment because for me, the only way I can answer that question is, MMB, is that it takes a squad to win Premier League titles and not a team, right? It's the only way and I'm sorry if you understand that. It's just how I'm putting it across to you. It's a squad that we need. So it's no good having 11, 12 fantastic outfield players that you think, cool, that can go and win the league. Happy days. Because it very, very rarely works like that. You've got to take into consideration suspensions, injuries, not to the extent we had them last season, but you only need 2 or 3 out of that 11 and a couple not firing that day, and then you're struggling. So for me, we need what I would call pretty much 2 in every position. And I know that sounds greedy, but if you want to go and win a league, you're looking at having 22, 23, 24 squad players of the level. It's very difficult to keep that amount of players happy because obviously there's a certain amount that are not getting on the pitch every week. But again, what we was talking about earlier on in the show, if you're in the Champions League, if you're in Europe and your FA Cup and your League Cup and you want to compete in the league, you need these players to be able to achieve any of that, any one of those, let alone doing what City did, going winning this, that and the other for year after year after year. So I think it's a process that you have to go through. I think Mr. Levy has to go through the process, that he has to realise, or whoever's decided to start buying players of this calibre, that we need to keep going at this trajectory. Maybe, and you're not going to get them all in one window. That's not what Spurs do. But if you could see over the next 2 years that, for argument's sake, Kudos and Gibbs-White and maybe 1 or 2 others came in this window, and then in January something came up, a player came up and you thought, oh yeah, that'd be nice, and you got that one in January, and then next summer you went and got another 2 or 3. So straight away within a year you've got 7 or 8 of what you wanted in. And I do believe there are players in this squad as well that are capable, of doing great things that hasn't been shown before. But, it's just all a case of everything coming together at the same time. So I wouldn't like to sit here and say, in 3 years' time, we're going to be there, MMB, because I don't know. Let's just hope we go on that, keep going on that upward trajectory as far as transfers are concerned, and see how we go. Nige, what do you think? And I've got Milton coming in here, Nige, so I'll bring Milton in.
Okay, it's worked, is it? That's good. I'm starting to panic.
There you go. Hello, Milton. How are you?
Big up, mate.
Yeah, freezing my ass off at work, mate. It's absolutely freezing in Australia. It's literally 0 degrees and winds of like 90 km, so it feels about -5.
Wow, whereabouts are you, Milton?
So I live at a place called Wollongong, which is an hour south of Sydney.
Okay, so are you a bit detached? Is it a quiet place where you are, like out where you are?
It's a bit of both. You've got like your city side, but you also got your countryside. But where I'm from, we're surrounded by a lot of beaches as well. We've got some of the best beaches in the world.
Lovely, Milton.
But,
Lovely. Well, yeah, brilliant.
But very, very expensive where in Australia to live.
All right. Well,
yeah, I know.
It's getting expensive everywhere, Milton, to be quite honest with you. It's not cheap in England anymore. In the UK, trust me, it's not.
Well, a few years ago, I work 7 days a week now, but a few years ago, I was working 4 jobs, about 140 hours a week.
Wow. That's madness, mate. That's madness.
Yeah.
Up to you, mate, for doing that sort of stuff. Milton, I'll ask you a little question so you can have a chat. Just thanks for coming on, number one. Number two,
worries, mate.
What are your feelings this season about Spurs, about Thomas Frank, about signings that have come in so far, and what are your expectations for the season?
To be honest, and a lot of people will disagree, but I'm still hurting with the sacking of Ange. I love Ange, not being biased because I'm an Aussie.
Yeah,
I know the season was poor, but regardless, what he achieved, no other manager has in the last 41 years, and I still think that he was entitled to season 3 because I reckon he knew after his first 2 seasons, shit, I've got to adapt because EPL's a different beast, and I would have liked to seen him have the season 3. But regardless, Thomas Frank is in, and I'll support him. I'll support any manager. I've been following Spurs since 1990. So my expectation with Thomas, I reckon he needs to finish in the top 7.
Yeah.
In a European spot. Make it to the last 16 of CL and a decent run in the Cups. Yeah. With the transfer, we have to go big and we have to back him. I've always said that Daniel Levy is a T-Rex, short arm, deep pockets. He's got to improve himself to get the wallet out and start spending money. He came out with a Vinay Venkatesham, we got to win the league, we want to win Champions League. Prove it. So with the signings, I'm happy with Kudos. I've always wanted Morgan Gibbs-White. One player I've been bragging about for the last 2-3 years who I would love to see in a Spurs shirt is Oscar Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a quality player at City, rarely gets game time. And when he does get the odd 10, 15 minutes, he's electric. He's that razzle-dazzle player we don't have yet. So I'll critique Levy and the board once the transfer season's complete and see what work we've done.
That's a fair comment, mate. That's a fair comment. Listen, I don't know how much you listen to our shows. We've only been going for sort of 6 months, Milton, and Nigel's been going a bit longer than that. I have never been the biggest Ange fan, and I'll be quite honest. I'm not saying that to argue with you. It's got nothing to do with he wasn't my cup of tea, and I am thankful and grateful to him for winning Spurs a trophy. But at the same time, Milton, I can't say I was happy about losing all those games last season, and the home form at home was shocking, and it really was shocking. To lose 10 league games at home, Milton, is whether you've won the Europa or not, is not a good look. Not for me, anyway. We shouldn't be losing. Go on, mate. Go on.
I understand that, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I like to talk football without the yelling and screaming over the top. Just because you're louder doesn't mean you're right. Everyone's entitled to their opinions.
Exactly.
I wanted to see Ange stay, but in saying that, Thomas is in, and I'll back the manager. So regardless,
we're the same. We're the same, Milton. We've said the same thing. You know, if it's not working, you know, we'll be the first ones to say, "Come on, we need a change." You know what I mean?
100%.
You have to give them you have to, like we did with Ange, and I was the same with Ange. When Ange came in, it was like, oh, this is different. This is new. Let's have a go and see what happens. But, you know, time goes on a bit, and he just wasn't my cup of tea. And like I say, I'm glad that he got us over the line in the Europa. I'm over the moon that Tottenham won a trophy, and no one will ever tell me any different as a Tottenham fan, whether you like the manager, the players, or whatever it is. We won a trophy.
Oh, it was the best night of my life.
There you go. There you go, mate. And that's what it's all about, being fans. You know what I mean? It's brilliant,
But
you know.
the funny thing is, as well, it was meant to be for us to win the Europa League. My reason being is the second leg against Bodo Glimt was the 8th of May, which is my birthday. The last time we won a European trophy was 1984, the year I was born. It was meant to be. It was
There
meant
you
to
go.
be.
And just so you know, Milton, just so you know, I was there in '84, up in the shelf when we won the UEFA Cup. I was at
That would have
the
been.
ground, and it was one unbelievable night. It was
Yeah, that would have been a.
absolutely- I was 16 years old, up the shelf, watching Spurs win the UEFA Cup. It was
That would have been a glorious night.
amazing, mate. It was one of the best nights of my life. It really was.
But living in Australia, there's no. I'm the only Spurs supporter that I know. Everyone in Oz, they follow Liverpool and United,
Yeah.
and a few Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans. But yeah, I'm 41 years old and I've never met a Spurs supporter in Australia.
Wow, that's mad.
Right.
There's a
isn't it?
few over there that just can't be anywhere near you, Milton.
Yeah, nah. Like I said, everyone follows United and Liverpool, and yeah, I started playing football when I was 6, 1990.
Yeah.
And I hate the colour red. And I had a look at all the jerseys. I've seen Spurs all white. I'm like, that's my team.
That's
And
it.
still to this day, I refuse to wear red. I will not wear red whatsoever.
I'm the same, mate. I'm the
Yeah, I don't wear red.
Yeah.
My missus wanted to paint one of the walls in the bedroom this reddy colour. It wasn't bright. It was just and I'm like, no, we're not having that. You can have what you want, love, but you're not having red. It's not happening. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like that. I am a bit like that. But the problem I've got is, Milton, is that I live in Manchester now, right? I was literally lived round the corner from the ground for 30 years, right? But I live in Manchester now. My missus and her kids, who are all sort of 40-ish now, they're all Man United fans. So you can imagine what it was like in here on the night of the Europa League final, can't you? Yeah, you can.
It would have been awesome.
I got stick for days before that final, mate. But isn't it funny that I didn't hear a word afterwards?
No.
Went quiet.
I've seen them many times, and it's nothing.
Go to sleep.
Nothing, mate.
Yeah, I'm a massive Spurs fan, and my brother's a massive Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
He's been following Newcastle for 40 years.
Yeah. They done well winning a trophy last year as well, didn't they? Newcastle. I was really pleased for them, actually. Really pleased for them. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. I'm gutted for Crystal Palace not getting Europa.
Yeah.
I know it's off topic, but I'm gutted for them.
Yeah. It is a shame. It is a shame, mate. It is a shame.
You reckon we're going to get Morgan Gibbs-White through the line or not?
Personally, I do.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it will get sorted out, Milton, to be quite honest with you. I just think the Forest chairman is... I'm not monetised yet, am I? I'm not monetised yet. He's just being a cock, mate, at the end of the day. Sorry for swearing, Milton. I didn't know what other word to use. I don't like swearing on my channel, really. Do you know what I mean? But he's
a prick.
An absolute dickhead, isn't he? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let them do what they've got to do. Listen, there ain't many out there better than Levy when it comes to dealing with a deal and other chairmen like this. So
100%.
for me, if anyone's going to get it over the line, he will. And he'll also, like Nige said earlier, if Marinakis starts taking the piss, right, he'll tell him to do one and they'll leave it and they'll go and find someone else. They will do. You know,
What kind of wages is he on at Nottingham Forest? Do you guys know?
I've got no idea. I would imagine somewhere around 100 grand, isn't it? Nige, somewhere like that. I wouldn't imagine.
I would say around that. What I would love Levy to do, and obviously I'm not the biggest Levy fan, but I would love Levy to say, we're going to take Morgan Gibbs-White because we've matched the release fee, but we're also going to take Elliot Anderson because we like him. We're going to take Murillo because we like him as well. And
Yeah.
I'd love Spurs to just strip the Forest side of all the best players.
Yeah, and while we're there, we'll have Milenkovic as well, and then Romero
Yeah,
can go then,
Milenkovic.
can't he? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's just
Yeah, yeah,
We'll take their keeper as well.
yeah. Good keeper.
Yeah.
He is a good keeper.
Well, he won the Golden Glove award for last season.
Yeah, yeah. He is a very good keeper, Milton, the Forest keeper. Very good. Here's a question from Lily White Yid. Question: if we get Morgan Gibbs-White, then who comes in next? Big up, fellas. Great show, by the way. Coys. Lily White Yid, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Two Marks and to Nigel Pure Coys, please, sir, because we're ramping up and we're trying to get our numbers and bring you more content as we go, and have people like Milton, that is however many thousand miles away in Australia, live on this stream for your pleasure.
At 5 a.m.
At
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Thursday morning, 0 degrees.
What a legend. Big up to you, mate. Big up, Milton. Great stuff. So here we go. If we get Morgan Gibbs-White, who comes in next? Big up, fellas. Great show. Milton, who are you thinking you would like to see next if Morgan Gibbs-White actually comes in and gets over the line?
I know everyone said it, but I love this player, Adam Wharton.
Yeah.
He's so gracious. He's so silky on his feet, so calm, so direct. For such a young lad, he's got a football brain of a person that's 100. He's just quality, and he's only going to get better. And if it's true what Thomas Frank, is good at getting the best at young players and progression their career, he'll be a world better.
Yeah.
Under Frank, in 2 years' time, he'll be a £150 million player.
Nigel,
I'll take him on a heartbeat.
Didn't we? Was we on a stream? Okay, and you've just took the words, what I said, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. To me, Adam Wharton is 85 million, whatever he costs. But to me, that kid in 3 or 4 years' time, if he carries on at the trajectory he is, which I can see him doing, he will be exactly what Milton said. He will be that £150 million player. I do believe that.
I could see him be the future captain of England in 4 years' time.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, mate. Don't get me wrong, Milton. He's got a long way to go, but he shows you all the bits and pieces that you want to see, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And to me, he looks like he's got everything, and he's gonna fulfill his potential. Let's say that'd be the right way to put it.
And he looks like he's got a great attitude as well. He doesn't look like a player to mess up the dressing room or kick up a fuss. He just seems like the kind of kid, he'll take constructive criticism, get it on board, and work harder to be better.
Here's Corey. Let's let Corey in.
Good evening, gentlemen. My fellow Yid from down under. Nice to meet you.
How are you, mate? Nice to meet you, Chad.
Apart from the pollen assassinating my eyes and my nose, I'm great. But then it doesn't help. I live in a block of flats in the middle of a field on the Downs in Brighton. So, yeah. Nice
jersey, mate, but also Dortmund.
Well, there's a reason behind why I wear this shirt, and Borussia Dortmund have always been my guilty pleasure in Germany. But about 8 years ago, over here we have a foreign exchange program where kids come over, stay with your family for a bit, and then they go back. Blah blah blah. Yona, he came to stay with me and my family about 8 years ago. But at this time, I was a heavy sort of like football manager, put it on Twitch, see if anyone kind of watched me guy. And there was a kid in the Borussia Dortmund youth team called Luca Killian, his older brother. This is so strange how we've met, how the families are connected. I talk to his brother all the time. His brother plays professionally in Germany. I talk to Yona nearly every day because he's training to be a doctor. But when he come over, he was like, shook hands. My name is Yona Killian. I was like, is your brother playing football for Borussia Dortmund? This is at the time when he was in the Borussia Dortmund youth team. He goes, how do you know that? I was like, come upstairs, I'll show you. I was like, there's a picture of his brother on the screen, football manager. And I'm like, is that your brother? He's like, holy shit. He's like phoning his brother. He's like, you're on a game. He's like, his brother's like, I already know. kind of thing. But yeah, we talk to his family constantly. I talk to him nearly every day, and he got me this Borussia Dortmund shirt. I got him a Brighton shirt with his name on the back. I've got my name on the back of this one. So yeah, I've
Awesome.
worn this, but like Borussia have always been my guilty European pleasure. I don't know why I like hurt. So I love Tottenham, love Borussia, so I've always got to be in the hurt somewhere.
Yeah, no, I follow them as well, and being Portuguese, I follow FC Porto. Like I said, I refuse to wear red. I won't wear red for the life of me.
Oh, don't get me started with wearing the colour red, my friend. I can't take it.
I hate the colour of our sponsorship AIA. Why is it being red? Can't it be blue?
So I've already had conversations with these gentlemen in WhatsApp groups about like the sponsorships on our shirt and everything. And then we have our away kit this year, and it's finally not red, and we only have to put up with the sponsorship apparently for about another season, and we can bin them off. I'm going to find a sponsor that isn't red on the front of our beautiful white shirt.
Mm. What do you think of this for a shout? I know Milton's mentioned it. I know that he had a bad injury, didn't he, last season? Was it the end of last season, middle of last season?
Bob's a very good shout, but the injury alone might have kind of hampered him, because it wasn't a patella ligament injury.
I thought he broke his leg, Corey.
Oh, was it the leg? All right. Well, I mean, there are two shouts that I think Tottenham could get if we really go to the German market. One's in Germany. There's Konrad Lamar, which I think is an absolute ace of a player. Very underrated. Yeah. And then you've got, obviously, what's his name? Morten Højlund?
Yeah, Højlund,
however you pronounce his name, two very good defensive midfielders for half the price. I love Walton, and I said 2 seasons ago when Tottenham were scouting him, I got a friend up that lives up in Blackburn. He was always telling me how good this kid was. Like, oh yeah, Adam Morton, he's going to be this next breakout star. I was like, yeah, I can see why. I was looking into some of his games that he was playing, how much of a footballing IQ he had on him at young shoulders. Yeah. But I said nearly 2.5 years ago, Tottenham should be looking at this kid on a Tottenham show, and I was laughed at. And now you've got Tottenham fans wetting their pants for Adam Walton. I'm like, I told you 2 years ago. I told you 2 years ago about this kid. Now you're like, yep, we'll wet our pants about him. But he's a very talented, gifted young player, bright. He's got an IQ that I'd put up there with Teddy Sheringham's footballing IQ easily, or either just above Teddy Sheringham's IQ at like 21. You know, the kid has it all. I would love to have him through the door. This Gibbs-White thing, if it keeps dragging on, Forest aren't doing themselves any favour. And as I'm from Brighton, screw Palace.
Do you think it'll get done though, Corey?
Pardon?
Do you think the Morgan Gibbs-White deal will get done?
I'm 50-50 with it right now. It depends on who's leaked what. But the whole idea of a buyout clause, it's supposed to be public knowledge of a contract. That's also got to be known to the FA.
Right.
So the FA have got to have known about this clause as well.
Okay.
So a buyout clause, you don't need to talk to the club at all. You can just go to the player and the agent. They say, right, we're triggering your release clause. Do you want to join us? Now it's up to the player if they want to join or not. That's how it works. Then the player goes and asks for permission to talk.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
That's how just bring up something?
Works. Go on, then.
Do you know that Højlund play you were suggesting?
Yeah.
He'll never come to Spurs.
Why is
He's
that?
an Arsenal fan. He's got Arsenal tattoos all over his body.
I don't care. Go get him. If you pay him the money. But professional football players put their allegiances for the teams they support aside. I mean, there's so many out there that probably... I mean, Roy Keane's an avid Tottenham supporter, but played for Man United. So...
Yeah. Well, one player I would have loved for Spurs to go through 12 months ago, but he's gone to Juventus, is Francisco Conceição.
Yeah.
That kid is mustard. He's mustard, man.
He's something
mustard,
special.
He's spicy.
He's only short. Like, I'm only a short fella. I'm 5'9". I think he's only 5'6", 5'7", but he's built like a brick shithouse for a little fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He takes the ball on. He's tricky. He's got the pace. He's right and left footed. He's not scared to take a shot 30 yards out. He runs and scares defenders to life. And watching him play for Portugal, he's just mustard.
I mean, if we're talking about dream signings at the back, I'd go for Osman Diamonde out of Portugal. I would literally strip that Porto team clean of their players. You know, they're losing Gyökeres, so might as well lose their centre back.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Porto are struggling for cash, so they're selling all their players for cut price frees because they're heavily in debt.
Yeah, well, most European clubs, unless you take away the bigger teams, all the teams in that are struggling. I mean, France was literally on its knees. You can tell with relegating Lyon, then reinstating them, which I think was a complete backward step. I know they're one of your 9-time champions, but have they won it in the last 20 years? It's all gone down to PSG, really. Apart from that one sort of like ghosted season where PSG didn't win it, which was, 2 seasons ago? I can count on one hand how many teams other than PSG have won that league since PSG's money investment have come in. You've got teams in Germany that are financially struggling. A case in point, we're always selling our top players at Borussia. So, I mean, the only team in Germany really to have the money is Munich. And then obviously you've got the backing of the Red Bull brand, you know, of Leipzig and the team in Austria. I can never remember their names.
Salzburg.
Red Bull, Salzburg.
Yeah, Red Bull Salzburg always skips my mind, that one, because, you know, anything under the Red Bull band doesn't need to worry about money. So, like, you got the F1 team, they don't need to worry about money. You've got the 2 teams in Austria and Germany, which basically feed players to each other, don't need to worry about money, which I still think that is a very bad backwards business model. Only if you're under a brand in one like sport, it kind of leaves a bad taste because you can just traffic players across. You know, if you need a loan for a player and he can't go elsewhere, you send him to Austria to learn, or you send him back to Germany 2 years later. It's backwards, in my opinion. Italian league, apart from, unless you're into Juve or AC Milan, you don't really have the money. So, yeah, you just got to look across these leagues. There are some very, very good players in these leagues at a cut price of what some of the players that we're paying for in the Prem.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? There's so many players out there. You know, we look at players, and you know, Kudos 55 mil, Morgan Gibbs-White 60 mil, and we seem to have gone in those 2 transfers up a level now. Now, we've had conversations before, us chaps, you know, and prices of players are really out of everyone's hands because the clubs are the ones that are requesting these fees. A lot of the players that Milton, you've mentioned, and Corey, you just mentioned there, are they players that sort of come under? I don't know what sort of fees those Porto players, for argument's sake, are commanding at the moment because they're on their knees. Are they sort of £50 million players that they're letting go for 25 million just to get them out the door for as round, you know, figures go? Is that how it is, Corey and Milton?
Osman Diamande, what is he, 20 now? It feels like he's been around for 15 years, that kid.
Yeah.
Solid, very solid defender in the air, has the pace, can play the ball. He's one of those defenders that I was watching before he moved to Porto as well, because like I've said on many channels, there are so many leagues I watch across the world. It's surprising that I actually have any time to talk to anyone most days. If there's a match on in Timbuktu, I'm probably watching it, you know, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I've dabbled in like the Bulgarian second league, watching that, and just to get my football fix. It could be 4 a.m. and I'm watching a team playing America or Argentina or Colombia. You know, it'd be like 4 a.m. here, 9 o'clock in the evening over there, and I'm like watching a football match.
Yeah. We're going to Andy's question here. We was linked with this Colomundo, and then it's all gone quiet, isn't it, on this front? I don't seem to have seen much about it. Have you got any thoughts on this chap, Corey and Milton?
Again, he's a very well-rounded striker and is better than what we have in both Richie and Solanke. But yeah, it's gone quiet. So there was probably just a load of smoke there because we were looking in the French league. Yeah.
It does seem to have gone quiet on that one. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. I really hope. Nita's said that Morgan Gibbs-White was on 80 grand a week, Nige. That's what he's on at Forest.
Okay.
So I would imagine, you know, we've
We'll
gone in
double it.
at our normal level, probably at
Triple
about
it.
just over 100 or 120 or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
There
I'd
is-
imagine we'd pay like 100, 130, 140 million.
Yeah.
140,000 a week.
He fits into our wage bracket when he's on 80 grand a week at Forest, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
100%.
And then if this whole Adam Wharton thing is true, bring him in, because I've been saying his name for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
This kid needs to play in a lily white shirt. He is the future. And
Yeah.
with Milton on this, he is going to be England's captain in the next 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
I don't think they lose money on him, Corey. This is the thing. This is why I was
Oh.
saying about, 85 million's a lot of money, right? But he is a kid. He's a young
Yeah.
kid with a lot of talent. And even if it was a usual Spurs thing, like the Bell thing, for argument's sake, Real Madrid coming in 4 years' time and say, we want Wharton. And you go, yeah, it's 150, 160 million quid. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to lose money on him. He is seriously, for me, top level.
Yeah, he's easily head and shoulders above everything we've got in that position as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I could literally strip this team apart and probably only keep maximum of 4 what we have, and then the rest I wouldn't see. I wouldn't cry if they'd left.
Yeah.
Literally, there are so many of this team now that I've sick to the back of the teeth with in the last 10 years that we've held on to. The likes of Ben, I'm average, Davis, and love Sonny, but his legs were starting to go 3 years ago. And once Kane left, the Sonny that we knew had gone.
Yeah.
Benton, I would get rid of both Bentancur and Basuma because Bentancur goes quiet in big matches. I've been Basuma's biggest advocate, being down from Brighton. I've met the guy a few times when he was, living down here. One of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet, walking around. But he either needs the right coach to believe in him or get a fresh start to show the league and show people what he's actually about, because it's World Cup year,
Yeah.
As for the wing, I don't understand why we brought Tell in. Absolute waste of 30 million. I'm probably going to get shot by someone. I was like, he's a young kid, give him a chance. But Bayern Munich only brought him off the back of a highlight video when he was playing in France. So it's like what we did with Dembele, wasn't it? We brought him off the back of a YouTube compilation video.
Yeah.
And then we were like, some of us were waxing lyrical about Dembele, and I'm the one that's been watching French football. Like you do, I was sitting here like, you do understand he's playing in a very average league, and he's a very good player in an average league.
Yeah.
I actually said that when we first signed about 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, how many appearances did he make for us since? Before going out on loan, taking 200 grand a week off of us, robbing us blind.
Absolutely robbed us, Corey.
Yeah.
Absolutely robbed us blind, mate, that fella.
Robbed us blind for 200 grand a week, went out on loan to Turkey and couldn't even cut it in Turkey.
Yeah.
I
know.
And
Come on.
It's saying that you went on loan twice and won 2 leagues, one with Napoli and one with Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, at Napoli, he actually looked like the player that he was when he was in France. He actually played with a bit of swagger and confidence when he was playing. I think it was Lyon, wasn't it? I have to keep reminding myself. It was either Lyon or Olympique Marseille. I can't remember which French team he came from. Completely
Lyon.
It was Lyon.
Okay.
So
same like Lloris.
Yeah, it's like he completely with him. It completely skipped me where he come from because he just didn't make that much of a impact that everybody wanted him to. I was like, I saw straight through that guy when he signed. It's like, I can call this now. This guy is not going to make it at Tottenham.
Yeah. What do you think about Andy's comment here, chaps? I mean, for me, I don't mind. I'll go first. For me, I love Wharton, Andy. Right? The way I look at it is that it ain't my money. It's Tottenham Hotspur's money, right? And I look at the player, and I see him being what he is now. I see he's like 85% of the way there. He's shown in the Premier League what he's all about in the very few games that he's played, 22, 23 games plus his cup games. But every time you see him, Andy, he stands out, right? It doesn't matter who they're playing against, even the big teams, he stands out. Everyone always says, look at Wharton, look at Wharton. And when you actually watch him play, Andy, to me, he looks like he's going to be the next big thing as a DM.
Yeah.
He,
And
he
Palace,
just looks like it.
no disrespect to Palace here being a Brightonian, but Palace can only take him to a certain level now. He's going to have to move to that next big club to excel his growth, and he needs a Tottenham, not a United, a Chelsea, a Liverpool, something like that, a Madrid, to really see if he's got the minerals there. But 85% of the way there, I would take him over anything that we've got in midfield. Like I said, I would chop our midfield out. I'd be like, apart from Maddison, I would literally go, right, Bentancur's gone, Basuma's gone, you're gone. The kids that we've got, like Bergvall and Gray, I'd stick out on loan, but you've got to make sure Gray stays within the Premier League to keep the homegrown, trained in country quota. You can't send him abroad. As well as with Bergvall, you can't really send him abroad now because it'll break that 3-year cycle where they can actually start saying, yeah, he's club trained, homegrown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to think about all that stuff, Corey, now, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually excited about the fact they're actually buying in first and then chopping out. It's because of this investment. I mean, I have been the hugest Levy out fan since Martin Jol was sacked, and I've been to protests and everything. But I've got to give it, for what Sean Slater said, the organic growth of what Daniel Levy's done for this club, being a businessman, is short to a miracle. He took a club that was pretty much on its knees in early 2000s. We nearly didn't have a club to support in the 90s if it weren't for Alan Sugar, you know.
Yep.
So you got to think about it like that. Like, these people have paved the way, being businessmen. Okay, it hasn't been the greatest on the pitch with what he's given us, but behind the scenes, having this stadium, the training ground, all these facilities, it's great. It's the icing on the top. Now put the players in there, and then we'll be off your back. But I feel like with the new board coming in, they've looked at probably the FFP and the wiggle room we could spend. There is money there to spend. This is Tottenham. Come on, we don't go out and shell out for a £1 billion stadium so we can't afford players. It's silly, especially with this new investment. If it is coming from the Middle East, I mean, just look at everything around the world now. The boxing's been brought out by the Middle East. The golf, the tennis soon will be. I mean, the sports are going in the ways of mega rich countries. To succeed, you need the money, and to have the money, you've got to have these countries with the money to come in and buy your clubs. I mean, I'm the biggest one for like the heritage and sticking to our history, especially with our club being as it is. But you've got to look at it now. This is the modern football. Modern football isn't played in the 60s, 70s, and 80s anymore, where you could buy a player for like 20, 30 grand and then sell him for like $1 million. And you know, the turn gates are like £5 a ticket now. Tickets are like 200 quid, and how everything goes with inflation, players are only going to get more expensive. So you need these mega rich countries or companies to come in. I mean, I think the company wants to come in is like the 4th richest company in the world and the biggest oil investor around the world, and the one that has the most money in the game.
Yeah.
I would rather take having the money to be able to spend on players and stop using the excuse of, oh, it's the wages. Now, if we have a mega rich owner, a sugar daddy, what should that matter? As long as we do things properly, professionally, and don't get called into the brackets like all these other teams that are run by mega rich owners, then as long as we do it correctly, I ain't got a problem where the money comes from now. I just want to compete and see my team winning things.
Yeah. Go on, Nigel.
For me, it's more about what the manager wants. If the manager wants Wharton, then we should get Wharton. If he's his man, if he's the first choice, we've semi-backed the manager and then not gone all the way. For me, if he wants Morgan Gibbs-White, if he wants Wharton, we've got the money. And for me, just go get him.
Yeah, put the money on the table, as Danny would say. Some of these players will want to come, some of them won't. I mean, Gibbs-White wants to come to Tottenham because it's World Cup year. What better way to do it than a team in the Champions League? So, like, Gibbs-White will come. Wharton, if we get him, fantastic. Go and get me a Harvey Elliott as well. There we go. We've sorted out our midfield. We've got Wharton and Elliott in the middle. With Gibbs-White, Kudos and Maddison. Now that is a midfield I would love to see. I am so fed up of seeing 10 men play football and watching Mr. Johnson walk into the box and tap it in from 6 yards. I don't want to see my winger walk in, tap it in. I want to see him beat a man like the old-fashioned ways, like Cantona would take on a player, like Ginola would take on a play. And I want to see that again. I want to see something exciting, not can we cross it 6 yards into the box and see him tap it in? And I
Yeah.
still say that goal in the Europa League final was scored by Luke Shaw. I still feel it come off of him. I feel like it was an Onana mistake. I don't think Johnson got any touch on that. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion on the guy. He's like a Timu version Gareth Bale with none of the skill.
Yeah. I get where you're
it's
coming
so
from.
harsh.
Harsh.
Poor Johnson.
I just want to see us. I want to see us carry on this same trajectory now. You know, we've sort of like Corey said, it's all changed upstairs as far as we know. Hopefully, Levy's taken a step back. Charrington's in there now as well. You know that he's everything and anything to do with Joe Lewis, Charrington. So I'm sure he's keeping an eye on what's going on. And hopefully, Tottenham Hotspur will start going in this trajectory now, mate. We'll start buying players in that want to wear, number one, want to wear the Tottenham shirt, and number two, take us on to better things. Let's hope so anyway.
I want to see us excel and be better. You know, I'm so fed up with the mediocrity that's been in the last 25 years.
Of
I'm
course.
gonna say 25 years because since like the very first statement from Levy should have sent red flags out across Tottenham fans.
Yep, and he
I'm
did for
here
me,
to make
mate.
money and nothing else. I'm like, oh, you're
Yep.
here to make money, and that's not what an owner should be doing. You got to make the money. You got to spend a bit of money, and every now and then we got something right with the likes of Modric and Dembele coming in and Bale. I'm not talking about the crap Dembele. I'm talking about the Belgium destroyer here. I'm not talking about proper player. I want to see us scout the good players like that again. You know, go out and not just be the flirty words that used to. We're tracking, we're monitoring, we're looking at, we're in. I want to see we're in talks with, and then Romano coming out with the "here we go." That's all I want to hear is we've talked to the player properly, and Romano say "here we go." That's all I want to see this summer now. So far, kudos. What a player. Keep it going. I mean, stop. If we can't get this Gibbs-White thing, there's got to be, like I said, there's Ronald Kounard out there. There's obviously Huijsend or the guy from Porto. There's a few other DMs in the German league that I really like as well. God, this pollen's absolutely destroying my eyes. You've got Robert Anderich that plays at Bayer Leverkusen. I'd take him in a heartbeat. But do you really think Bayer Leverkusen are going to sell any more of their midfielders after losing Wirtz? I doubt it. But again, in Germany, there isn't that much money for these teams. And if you're offering the right price, maybe we could get a player like that out of Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah. There's definitely players out there to be had. It's just a case of if they want to come to us. Listen, chaps, I'm gonna wrap it up now. I've got one more question that I have starred that Terry Wright put in earlier. I don't know if he's still here. We'll answer this question between us, and then we will leave it for today. Thoughts, chaps?
For me,
Romero. If Sonny goes, has to be Romero. If Romero stays, obviously, if he goes as well, then you're probably looking at Maddison. But
I would
think
say
Romero would be your first choice.
Yeah.
I just hate having a keeper as a captain.
Right, Schmeichel was captain. Did you hate him for United being captain?
Absolutely hated Schmeichel.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest goalkeepers to grace the Premier League. All right, we hate him. There's a reason why I wanted to be a goalkeeper, him and Buffon.
Yeah. Probably be Romero for me as well. I'd like to see, to be honest with you, I'm one of these players, but I don't think I'm one of these fellas. I don't think he's ready yet. But I think someone like Mickey van der Ven in a couple of years' time, if he starts opening this a bit more, and he you know, he proves that he's a proper defender and not just someone who races back 50 yards every time to cover. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm the biggest Mickey van der Ven fan out there. I was following him at Wolfsburg and before that, and I love him. I really do love him. But
he played a completely different game for Wolfsburg as well. He wasn't this race back defender. He was cover. He was there. He was solid. And Wolfsburg, I mean, what a player they lost out on. I mean, there's a player at Wolfsburg as a goalkeeper I'd take as the Demis Sedmions. I can't remember it. Denis. Can't remember his surname, but he's a 19-year-old German goalkeeper that's already on the cusp of being the next replacement to a certain Moyen. So he's going to be his replacement. He's 19. He's 20 in about 2 months' time.
Yeah.
I'd have him in as replacement and then start moving other goalkeepers across.
Yeah.
But then we've got about 20,000 goalkeepers and about 90,000 defenders we need to sort out before we start bringing others in.
We have, and I know it'd be a proper mix-up, but if they wanted to get the mentality right at Spurs on the pitch, I don't know whether on the pitch people can change the mentality, further up. But it looks like it is changing. But what would this be for a change of mentality on the pitch?
I don't think he's captain material. You can't, if you're going to do that with a new player, make sure it's an established bloke that is a captain. Just going out and spending 60 million and slapping him straight in as a captain would upset the hierarchy of the team, if you know where I'm coming from. Players that have been there a long time to players that are actually captain material, then you're coming down to a guy that's just been brought in to take over that. It kind of upsets every other player in that pyramid.
Who have we got in our squad that's captain material?
Vicario,
like I said, I did say Big Vic. I mean, some goalkeepers make fantastic captains because they see the whole pitch in front of them. So that's why I had a lot of respect for Vicario coming out and schooling Bergvall for that mistake when he did it. I have respect for that.
Didn't we have a keeper as captain for about 10 years and most of the fan base hated it because they wanted a player on the pitch to be captain?
Yeah, I know, but then with Hugo, it's who else was speaking up at that time? I mean, Kane, I don't really think was speaking up too much. The players that are captains are the ones that use this and think with that as well as when they're doing that. Whereas Sonny,
Alderweireld, we had the Vertonghen.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to have someone that's going to be fired up and like that is going to be the captain material at the moment. I can only see Big Vic because he schooled the younger players for making mistakes. He's going to come out and tell the players what they're doing wrong, and they'll listen because of the seniority of him. Plus, like I said, I was a goalkeeper. I was captain of my youth team. I could see the whole pitch in front of me, and I would scream at my defenders when they made mistakes. I'm
not against Vicario being captain. One thing that did annoy me, though, you're right, he did score the young players, but whenever Romero made a mistake, he just said absolutely nothing to him.
Well, then maybe that's where he should.
Like picking on the younger ones, but I'm not against Vicario being captain, but I think he's got to learn to, if he's going to do it to a couple of the youngsters, he's got to do it to everyone.
Well, yeah, but then if Vicario is if Romero, say the scenario plays out, Sonny leaves, which I give him our graces because he has been fantastic for us over the 10 years. He can go with our blessing because he needs that. He needs to freshen it up, move abroad, or find something at another club in the Premier League, whatever. Go with our blessings, my friend, like we did with Kane. Kane went with our blessings. All right, there's probably some of the fan base that are still waking up from the nightmare of no Harry Kane in the team, but he went with our blessings. He gave us everything that he could. Wasn't backed. Kane wasn't given the promises by Levy, so that's why he left. And then the whole gentleman's agreement thing when he thought he had an agreement with Levy and Levy backfired it, and he left a sour taste in Kane's mouth. But if Sonny does go, Romero, I'd go Romero as captain, VDV as vice captain. If both Romero and Sonny leave, I'd go Vicario and Van der Ven as my leadership team.
Yeah, totally agree.
Fair enough. Yeah,
and I reckon in about 5-6 years' time, Bergvall as captain.
It depends if we have Walton though. If we get Walton,
yeah. I hope that if we get Walton, Christmas came early. Christmas came early, and I believe it's Santa Claus.
There's a comment up here, right? And let me find it. It's back up here. Someone made a comment, and I think it's absolutely spot on, and I can't see it now. Isn't it typical? Someone put a comment in. I think it was Nicholas Nichols. Here we go.
Yeah, money does talk, but the players also have a say. If the player doesn't want to come to you, you can't. You could slap 300 grand in front of these players to come and play for us, but by the time you think about it, they have to pay Mr. Taxman 25% of that each month for each week. So it's not really 300 grand a week. They're on about 225 if they're paying 75 grand a week in tax.
Yeah, You wouldn't mind
Oh,
being
poor-
on 225, don't
Poor
you?
little rich people, you know, paying the tax, man. But no, it's when you see people going, "Oh, he works hard, but does he put the ball in the net?" Mate, I said on Sava's show earlier, I wasn't on, but I said in one of his comments that down straight for 200 grand a week, I'd run through brick walls with glass on the floor with no boots on my feet for 200 grand a week if I'm giving the quote over I'm working hard. I don't find a pass, but I'm running up and down the pitch. I'm working hard. Shouldn't that be a part of the players' thing anyway? You work hard, you train hard, you get paid. Just don't make us look shit on the pitch. Simple.
Yeah, it is. That
But
is it. Yeah, go on,
but
Milton.
in saying that, when you say money talks, look at Sonny. He could have gone to Saudi for big money. He never wanted to leave. Look at Richie. Even though he's not playing well at Spurs, he doesn't want to leave. So in not all situations, money does talk.
There's probably reasons as to why people don't want to go to Saudi. I've been saying this for ages. Look at what happened to the Chinese Super League. They were throwing money, massive money at players. And then the league went to, went to the absolute pot. Saudi, I see it'll be like that. It'll be like the Chinese Super League for about 5-6 years. The players will go there, grab the bag, realize the level of the competition's completely crap, and then want to come back to Europe. You already see most of these players already going there and then coming out. Like Jordan Henderson spent a year at Saudi and went, "Nah, this isn't for me, lads." He's come back. He's at Brentford. You've got the guy that left Aston Villa that's been there 6 months. He's now in Turkey.
Oh, John Duran.
That was
John
dodgy,
Duran, you're like,
wasn't
what? Well, I still feel like some of these Saudi clubs are like feeder clubs to the Turkish league as well. So I feel like there's a backdoor there as well for some of these players. But
can I just bring up something? The real reason players do not want to go play for Saudi, the real reason, it's not about money or playing style. You can't have a fucking beer.
Oh, yeah.
There's no alcohol. Well, it's 50 degrees heat and you can't have a fucking few Budweisers? Fuck me.
Yeah.
But these players are probably having it smuggled in on the back of a lorry somewhere. Yeah, it fell off the lorry. It was going to Europe. It fell off. I had a few.
Imagine a show and Saudi.
It's like with the last World Cup. How do these fans turn up to a football match and not want a pint?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, sober football fans are the worst sometimes. You sit there drunk off your nut. You're like that in your seat. You got sober fans standing in front of you screaming like, "Sit down, mate. I'm watching the football."
Yeah. So I'm just putting your name in the chat there because Ellie was asking what your name was, Milton. There you go.
Milton.
So this is Milton, Ellie.
It's a proper
from,
Australian name, that is. Milton.
Way down, and he said it's freezing there. He said it's freezing,
Yeah.
he said, didn't you, Milton?
It's 0 degrees and we've got, the last week we had winds of like 140 Ks.
What are we talking about? That's kite flying weather where we live.
Fuck. Mate, it blew the roof off me bloody tool shed.
Oh, wow. I'd blame the person not putting the tool shed down a lot quicker, not enough nails.
The questions keep coming, so I'm going to keep putting them up.
Watch out for that hunter spider behind you, by the way, Milton.
That's nothing, mate.
Anything bigger than this for a spider to me,
Oh, dear. Does Frank try and get Tony back from Saudi?
Ooh. Oh, yes, please. I'd have Tony over Johnson and Richie, to be honest with you. Oh, not Johnson, Solanke. Sorry, Dominic Solanke. There's a reason why Liverpool and Chelsea both shot him off when he was younger.
Well, he's going to get another chance, Corey, isn't he? There's no doubt about that. He's going to get another chance next
I would
season.
take a three-legged dog running around in a circle, Mark, to be honest with you, than watching Solanke play.
I know, mate.
And the three-legged dog's called Lucky.
Or it could be worse. It could be Arsenal call it Win.
Go on, get stuck into them while you can. Keep going.
Wait, they bought that dog Win. As soon as they didn't win, did they get rid of the dog?
Yeah,
Your
they
fault we
put
didn't
old
win,
Yellow
Win.
down.
It's your fault we
They
didn't
took
win.
it back to the shed.
Took it back to the.
Oh my word!
Sorry, Lucky, but we're going to put you down.
You've been put down.
Poor little Win. Let's leave the dog alone. It's not his fault. It was brought in and made a mascot.
I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up before I forget. Arsenal did get. They bought a new dog. They got a new dog. They named it runners up.
I was going to say bridesmaid. But then we banter Arsenal. I said this earlier on. We banter Arsenal, but yeah, I would take finishing in that top 4 every season just because it shows pride and progression over finishing 17th and winning this trophy. I'm sorry, and in his own words, and I will state this because I hate the bloke.
Well, Milton loves him, Corey.
No, I know, but 10th and winning a trophy. This is Andrew's words. 10th and winning the trophy isn't progression, but 17th and winning the Europa League is. Just contradictory U-turn. I'm like,
yeah, it is.
Get back to teaching cricket, Ange. Go on, sod off. Can't take the guy.
Listen. Whatever you think of Ange, we've all got our different things. He's not here anymore. The cup's been won, and someone else has moved in to take over the tenure. And on that note, we are going to end the show. So thank you to Corey and thank you for Milton for coming on.
Thanks for having me, mate.
And anytime, Milton, you're more than welcome. Corey, you
Sweet as.
Please, everyone, get over to Nige at Pure Coys, doing great work over there. Please make sure you subscribe to him. Subscribe to the two
Smash the likes.
Well. Yep. Subscribe to the 2 marks as well, and hit the notification bell for both channels because we're sort of collaborating a bit at the moment, doing a bit on each channel. And yeah, there'll be a few shows coming out, probably daily, if not on both channels, on one of them. So yeah, please subscribe. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the chat for being here. We really appreciate it. Yeah, Nita, we are Tottenham till we die. And on that note, we will end the stream. Thanks to everyone. And on that note, come on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Spurs.